What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Bitcoin market update. In these videos, you will learn how to use technical analysis to forecast price movements in your favorite cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others, and also see where we are looking to buy and sell these crypto assets ourselves. So let's get into it here with Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. The monthly candle closes in 2 days and 9 hours. You can see that we have this candlestick down here with right now what looks like end up being a longer lower wick, which is good news for the bulls. Declining bear volume, also good news for the bulls, so we'll see where this candlestick closes. If we do end up getting declining bear volume with a longer lower wick, we'll anticipate that the next month we're going to break the high of this previous month, which is at 41,322 on this exchange. Looking at the weekly time frame, yesterday we got a weekly close on Bitcoin's chart here, and this is the candlestick that we got. So man, did the bulls pull up in the last 4 hours of this candlestick closing. I did not think that they would I was thinking that maybe they might not show up at the end there, but in the last 4 hours they really did. And so if we look at this, there's a couple things to point out here. One thing is we dipped below this low from January 18th and this low from May 17th. So when you dip below those lows and you close back above, this is where we potentially would have grabbed liquidity below both of these lows, meaning we triggered the stop losses there so large players could fill their orders, and that's why I have these green check marks right here. We did see increasing bear volume on this, but the other bull signal on the weekly time frame here is the potential for a bullish divergence here that we somehow maintained, which is pretty amazing. So we had 44.19 here, and then last week we had 44.53. So for us to confirm the weekly bull trend, we will need to, not confirm the weekly bull trend, confirm the weekly bullish divergence on the RSI. We'll have to break the high of this previous week, this week, which is at 35,726, which is entirely possible because we're pretty close to that level already at 34,436 right now. If we do go up, where is the first resistance on the weekly time frame? It's going to be this R1 pivot up at 37,624 roughly. After that, it's the R2, which is up here at about 46,350. 2-day time frame. So the 2-day time frame here, if we're looking at this, we have our gray resistance level right here. This is from when we had our bull trend, and then this was this last candle before this push down that potentially it should have been support right here, but we pushed right through it due to the strength of the bear momentum that we have from things like the super guppy. EMAs were pushing the price down here, and we also went right above this high and grabbed some liquidity for this push down. Once we did go down though, we wicked below these key lows right here, and we closed above those with some increasing bull volume, came up, formed a lower high, came down, and formed a higher low. So this is good news for the bulls, because when we formed this lower high, like we talked about, we had no idea if we were going to form that higher low. I said it was likely that we would, given the magnitude of this bounce. But now we have not broken to a higher high yet. The higher high is 35.5. We got up to 35,356. So we missed it by about 125 points. And that's okay, because there's still time for this to break to a higher high. If we are a bull and we're waiting for this to play out, it likely will. We're pretty close, and there's not really any resistance that is... there's obviously some element of resistance, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The resistance level is this daily resistance level right here. So if we look at this, we rejected off of this once right here, and now we're coming into this a second time with declining bull volume. So it is possible that we come up here and then we come down again. Now if we come down again, we'll have to see if we form another higher low or if we go to a new lower low. Because if we do come down, apologize. If we do come down on the daily time frame, we're going to have this bearish divergence with a higher high in the RSI and then a lower high in price. So we'll see what we get here in the next couple days, but this candle closes in 9 hours. So we'll see if the bulls push above this high in the next 9 hours, or if we do end up stagnating around this level, around 34,600. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame and discuss what we got going on here. So on the 4-hour time frame, we can see a couple things. One, we can see, well, let's go to the 6-hour first. 6-hour time frame, we have the support level right here, which is where we had our low, high, higher low, and then a higher high. So this is, classic bull trend. Inside of this purple support zone here, we have our pivot level, which is the hourly pivot, right around 33K. So right now we came up, we hit this gray level, we came down, we hit this gray level again, but we did not go above the key high, and now we're trading below that now. So we'll see if this candlestick that we're in right now in 3 hours continues bullish here with increasing bull volume here, or not increasing, but just bull volume, or if we go down into this purple zone. If we go down in the purple zone, what we want to see if we're a bull is a pretty quick reaction from this level. So we're going to want to see a bounce off of this level pretty quickly, because like we talked about in the daily time frame, if we do end up closing this candle in 9 hours and we do not go above this high, and the next day opens and we go below the low of today, this will end up being a bearish divergence in the RSI, and we'll see potentially sustained drawdown. So we'll see what that 6-hour level does. If we do end up getting down to it, there's really two scenarios that play out here. Either the 6-hour level holds and we do something like this, where we come into it and then we bounce up and we go above this key high either today or tomorrow without setting the daily lower high, or we go right through this zone, we close 2 candlesticks below it, and then we go into this zone and then we reject off of it downwards, which will be an area that is potentially shortable. Shortable, is that a word? Probably. I'm using it anyways. Shortable. If we look at this from a 4-hour perspective, there is a potential, sorry about that. There is a potential here for, it doesn't really, I don't think it really holds as well. Yeah, I don't think it does. Really what we need to see here is we need to see the bulls with this increasing bull volume here finish this candle with increasing bull volume. Otherwise, if they close below the open of this candle, which is down at 34,118, increasing bear volume here will likely lead to us going into the purple zone, and then we'll see how the price reacts once we get into that level. If we do end up leaving these key highs right here, like this key high untouched and this one's really close, and we go back down, these are going to be an area for a potential liquidity grab in the future. So we will see. One other thing I wanted to point out was the potential for this pattern right here, which is kind of like a W bottom here, which is where we're seeing, the price come down on this initial drawdown with a rapid decline, increasing bear volume. Pretty quick buying of the dip. We come up, we reject again, but this rejection is less magnified than this one. And then we have a pretty quick push up from this low, right? So now we're looking for potential continuation from the bulls. You can see in 48 minutes, the 8-hour candle closes here. Right now we have increasing bear volume And the other thing to note about this is we formed a lower high here, and on the RSI we're making a higher high, which is a bearish divergence. So we could see this lead to downside into that purple level like we talked about, or if we end up closing this with a longer lower wick, we could see continuation. So mixed signals overall on Bitcoin right now. Bulls and bears are really battling it out. There's some key levels that are, they're just the main things that are impeding Bitcoin from just going on a crazy run, because pretty much everything else is saying, yep, you're good to go. Like, you grab some liquidity, you've changed the trend on the 6-hour time frame back to the bull's favor. You're getting some increasing bull volume. The only things that are kind of stopping the show are, one, this 2-day level right here, which is this candle, which we have not touched yet, which is an area that I'm potentially looking for a shorting opportunity. And then the daily time frame resistance level, which is right here, that we've already rejected off of once. So these are the two resistance levels that are really impeding price right now. So those are the levels that I'm keeping an eye on, and I will be watching things like the divergences here that we're seeing on the weekly time frame, the 3-day time frame, which we didn't even talk about. Let's briefly touch on that before we finish. So the 3-day time frame, we're seeing this potential bullish divergence here with a higher low in the RSI and a lower low in price, meaning that this move down here had more buying pressure than this one did. So that's good news for the bulls. You can see since this candle opened, we have traded up. So this is pretty close to breaking upwards. If we do, then we're going to have to see if that 2-day resistance level holds, or if we go right through that zone and close above it. If we look at this from the perspective of volume, we have declining bear volume. We also have an inside bar here. So typically when you have an inside bar, when you break the high or low of that, you see expansion. So we're pretty close to breaking the high, so we could see some expansion to the upside. But like I said, that 2-day level is still the main level that I'm watching in terms of resistance. And I do personally believe that this level will hold in the first test, but I could be wrong. We'll see. We will see, folks. But that's all I got for this one, guys. If you like this video, give it a like down below and subscribe for future educational content around cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And if you haven't already, check out our Leutheria Telegram channel that is in the description below as well. This is where you can learn and collaborate with people from around the world interested in cryptocurrency and the crypto economy. And you can learn, ask questions, discuss different projects with them, and a ton more. So check that out. It's free to join, and we would love to have you. So until tomorrow, onward and upward.